The great predator is a star on the wane, hemmed in by urban development and besieged by tourists. It is not surprising that he's in a bad mood. His charge is futile. He has been cornered by an extremely dangerous rival. During the 20th century, the spectacle of Africa's natural riches enthralled the world as the continent became the location for countless film and television documentaries that explored the secret lives of wild animals in incredible detail. But today, not a single corner has been left undiscovered or unaffected by civilization. The population of almost 1 billion inhabitants doubles every 20 years, creating enormous pressure on wildlife as competition for land, fresh water, and food increases. Africa has 1,200 protected areas, covering 2 million square kilometers, just 9% of the continent's surface area. These tiny islands of wilderness are under ever greater pressure from development, which threatens to reduce them even further. At the beginning of the 20th century, few of the peoples of sub-Saharan Africa were agriculturalists. They lived by hunting, and the forests and the savannas were an endlessly replenished food store. Killing an elephant, as cruel and unnecessary as it seems today, would feed a whole village for many weeks. In the 20th century, hunting as a sport, a leisure activity, and a business changed the balance between humans and animals. Killing was no longer a question of self-defense or finding food, but of flattering the hunter's ego. The big cats, especially lions and leopards, the most feared of Africa's predators, were the preferred targets. They were slaughtered in every corner of the continent. Africa quickly became a killing ground for many species, the result of uncontrolled hunting by locals and foreign visitors. Nothing was done to check the race to gun down any animal and take home its horns, teeth, skin, or head as a trophy. Today, big game hunting is a strictly controlled exclusive activity, regulated by national governments, which allow only a limited number of animals to be killed to maintain the right balance between different species on reserves. But these controls have been imposed too late, after years of devastation. Mankind is the principal rival, enemy, and threat to all other species, the apex predator of Africa, threatening the very existence of the great carnivores of the animal kingdom, the lion, the leopard, and the cheetah, in a desperate fight for survival. The populations of large carnivores in Africa have declined alarmingly over recent decades. The relentless destruction of wilderness areas, the effects of poaching, and the hunting practices of farmers and herdsmen make it likely that big cats will soon disappear from most of their natural habitats to survive only within the confines of public and private reserves as part of controlled breeding programs that supply the tourist industry. This has set alarm bells ringing for naturalists across the world, who have set up urgent campaigns to raise international awareness of the problem.
You need the governments of all the other countries to wake up and quickly, preserve some land so that the wildcats can still flourish in there. And then, start settling down. But you will have to do that. Otherwise, just open free roam? No, none. It will, maybe 10 years and it will be nothing left.
If population growth continues in the world over the long run, there won't be space left for large predators. I think if we as a human species continue to reproduce at the rate we are doing, we will not be able to save enough areas for wildlife. That is the sad reality.
The reality of it is that if we don't do something now, we are going to lose them.
We are on the trail of a leopard and her cub in the Orindi Reserve in Namibia. She has been fitted with a tracking collar, which will enable us to find her among the dense vegetation. The leopard is highly prized by poachers for its skin. It is also the big cat with the worst reputation among farmers because of its predatory instincts and its elusive nature. Our visit does not irritate her, but she pays close attention. She calls out to her cub, warning her of our presence. The team at Orindi has named the mother leopard Honey. She is not afraid of us, but just to be sure, she never lets us out of her sight, calling to her cub all the while. The cub is hiding close by. It can hear its mother, but for a long time will not come any closer, staying well out of sight of our cameras. Mother and daughter finally meet up behind a thick wall of undergrowth. Female leopards that have given birth deliberately avoid males and other feline competitors, seeking out a safe territory where they can raise their young. Each leopard lives and hunts on its own home range, an area it knows intimately and which it will defend with its life.
She had a territory right next door to where we are. She gave birth to the cubs. And what she did, she gave her daughter a piece of the territory where she grew up. So from where she was born, that's the piece of territory that she gave this daughter. So wondering how she knows the territory so well, she was born here. She's been here since the very beginning. She knows exactly where to go to hide. She knows where to go and find where the springbuck are hanging around or the warthogs for food. She knows every little tree, crack. If she needs water, she knows where to go. And the reason she knows it so well is she's been here since the day she was born.
A leopard's territory can cover as much as 20 square kilometers, a large area, usually coveted not only by rival felines, but also farmers in search of a plot of land to live on. Honey sets out to hunt. She allows us to follow her, but first she makes it clear that we should keep our distance. The leopard is the stealthiest, most daring and independent of all the big cats. Its self-sufficiency and adaptability enable it to live in places where other predators could never survive. Wherever it goes, all its senses are alert to any smell, sound, or movement that catches its attention. Adult males can weigh up to 70 kilos, while females around 60. Females have a gestation period of 90 to 105 days and normally give birth to a litter of 2 or 3 cubs, which they will care for until they can fend for themselves. Leopard numbers are falling fast, but despite predictions of its imminent extinction, it is faring better than lions and cheetahs, thanks to its finely honed survival instincts, which drive it to find habitats that are as far from civilization as possible. On the Arundi Reserve, the big cats have thousands of hectares in which to roam and abundant fresh water and prey. But this is a controlled freedom. The rangers monitor them to track their movements or to locate them for visitors on safari. Lions are the most social of felines. Normally they live in large prides formed of related adult females with several cubs of up to 3 years of age, and 1, 2, or even 3 adult males, one of them the dominant leader. While the males are mainly concerned with protecting their territory from possible intruders, the females take care of the cubs and also hunt, a task to which the smaller, more agile females are better suited than the males. Whether hunting or caring for their cubs, the lionesses display a marked spirit of cooperation. Watching the tenderness they show their cubs, you would never suspect the aggression with which lionesses will fight to claim their share of a kill or to defend their pride. Not far from mother and cub as they play, a male prepares to finish the remains of an oryx caught some hours earlier. He allows us to approach and watch him eat from a distance. He settles down to enjoy his feast as if we were not there. Lions will avoid conflict with humans as long as they have a habitat large enough to meet their needs for water, prey, and contact with others of their species. Visitors to game reserves tend to see lions either as ruthless killing machines that must be kept at a safe distance, or as high-maintenance pets that exist as attractions for our amusement. But neither is an accurate picture of an animal that is well able to decide what it dislikes and what will make it happy, especially what will make it happy. They want to live in freedom, in a pristine environment with abundant hunting, a habitat in which they can survive without pressure.